Hi everyone, it's me Anne. Welcome back to Chronically Beautiful, where we're trying to live our best life even though we probably don't feel like it. And if you're new and you're a first timer, welcome. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. Can we just take a minute? Is this thing so cool? It's like one of those wrappy things and I'm in love with it and I just needed to show it off and I just love it. Okay, anyways, focused. So today we are going to talk a little bit about what is coming and what's new and what's happening here for me. And I'm going to do a little tour of my new craft room setup. I have been busy around here over the last couple of months of quarantine, and one of the things I have been really doing, which has been excellent for my mental health, has been crafting like crazy. And I have decided that I'm actually going to start a second channel. I've done a couple of craft videos here on this one, but I want to keep this channel focused on the things that you enjoy, and those are tips on chronic illness and health, general health and wellness, nutrition, stuff like that, meal planning and prepping, those kinds of things. And you will be seeing more of those videos. And I just posted a video about depression, and that is one of the reasons I haven't been posting a whole lot, because I have been really struggling, like many of you, during the pandemic to kind of stay motivated and stay on top of things that I care about. And so I do apologize that I have been missing in action, but I'm back now and I'm feeling good. And I wanted to invite you all to come and check out my second channel. It is Chronically Home and DIY, and it's just going to be all crafts of all kind. And I can't guarantee that I'm going to be super regular about posting, but I know that I've got some cute Christmas crafts on there right now, and it's something that I just really enjoy doing, and I wanted to share with you. Crafting has been a love of mine since I was a kid. My mom and I used to do crafts, and especially at Christmas time, it's always been something that I really, really enjoy. So go ahead, please. I would love it if you went over to that channel and subscribed and gave it a like and told your friends about it, because it would just be really cool to have you over there as well if you're into crafting or would like to be. So that having been said, we're going to kind of dive right in. I'm going to show you what I've been up to here in the office slash studio slash craft room slash place where I dump all the crap. We all have a room like that in their house. This one's mine. So I hope that you enjoy seeing the little tour. And if you have any questions about any of the things that are in this room, please let me know. I would love to answer as many questions as I can. Let's check out this room and dive right in. As you can see, there is a lot going on in this room. And at one point it was really well organized and beautiful and clean, and then I just kept getting more and more craft supplies. Yeah, that's a dirt bike helmet. And just shoving more things in, and just every little nook and cranny that I could find I shoved crap into. So I'm taking this armoire, which originally I got from Craigslist, and painted it, and it's been a great piece, but it sticks out really far in the room. So I'm just working to get a new piece. I got a dresser that I refinished, and I'll have a video on how I did that on my craft channel, Chronically Home and DIY. So I knew I wanted to hang some shelving on this wall and just kind of wrap the shelves I already had. So I'm just finding my studs here, and my wonderful husband came to help me out with this part of the project because it was just way easier with 4 hands instead of 2. And I just purchased these shelves and these brackets at Home Depot. And the blonde wood shelves that I have on the other half of the room, they don't make them anymore, and I was really hoping to get more of those. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but we're making it work with the white ones. I love these floating brackets that you can put on the wall. They're really inexpensive, and they kind of just look nicer, and they hold a lot if you anchor them properly. Here I am continuing to struggle with this armoire. You can see everything's just a hot mess. I did like having my ribbon and washi tape organized vertically like this, but as you can see, it just was completely out of control. This comes from doing projects and not putting things away properly. I also knew that I wanted a pegboard in this space to have all of the tools that I use regularly, so I didn't have to dig them out every time. And I did purchase this at Home Depot as well. I think it was less than 10 bucks, and it came as one piece, but I cut it down into 2 pieces that I knew would work, and it did come already in the white color, which is completely fabulous. When you're hanging whiteboard, you do want to make sure that you have it set up so that it's out away from the wall. You need to have a spacer between the board and the wall, otherwise you won't be able to get your hooks in there. So here I'm just measuring and making sure everything is the way that I want it. I am putting my anchors into the wall, so no matter what I put on this board, it will be strong and able to hold because these are not on studs. So you definitely want to use anchors if you're hanging something that's going to be heavy and you don't have studs to put in. I got lucky on the shelves and was able to put all the shelf brackets on studs, which was really cool. They do sell whiteboard hanging kit things, but I didn't do that. I just used some spare screws and things that I had lying around, and instead of buying the specific spacers, I said whiteboard, I meant pegboard. They do sell these spacers, but instead of paying for new spacers, I just used a couple of bolts and I just put them, I stacked them and used those as my spacers, and they were perfect. So chances are you have, you know, if you've got a hardware room or a tool room or a toolbox, you might even have pieces like this left around from other projects that you could use. But otherwise, buying individual little bits of hardware like this at your local hardware store is really, really inexpensive. And as you can see, just this is where craft supplies and junk comes to die. We all have that space. Well, I like to think that we all have this space in our house that's junky, so it makes me feel better that mine's so bad. But this is just kind of a big before of how out of control it had gotten. So one of the things that I was excited to do is I got this dresser and refinished it. It was perfect for what I wanted. It had giant drawers and a little raised up spot. So what I did was take all of my seasonal florals, and so I'm putting them all in the drawer, so it's just easy because some of them are really long and it's hard to store. And here in this pot I just had some like all the time greenery, and which looked pretty in the pot, so I put that in. And then I'm just kind of deciding where I want to put all my stuff here. I put my scan and cut, which is like a Cricut, up on this little raised part, and I was able to put all of my cutting tools and vinyl and cutting mats and things like that into this top little drawer, which was completely perfect for that. I don't have a ton of vinyl. I don't do a lot of those projects, at least not yet. So it worked out perfect to put them all in this little drawer. And then in the second drawer of my new dresser, I just took all, again, my seasonal. So right now I was doing Christmas crafts, so just all my bits and pieces and wood and ornaments and little things that I knew I was going to be using for Christmas crafts. I just put those all into that drawer. And then as the seasons change, I'll probably continue to do Christmas for quite a while, but as the seasons change, I can switch out and put them into big Rubbermaid tubs, and I'll just switch out in my basement from the different crafts that I'm doing, because I have some, you know, additional storage down there. So this was a nice little option. I just used a bunch of bins and baskets that I had. I never would have thought that a dresser would be good for a craft room, but I absolutely loved this. And having these big, kind of shallow but giant drawers was really nice to be able to put all those little odds and ends. And I was able to separate them out with just little boxes and bins and things. In the front of my desk, which is a custom made piece, I have the calyx system from IKEA. And I just used banker's boxes to fill in those gaps, and then I used the tops from the banker's boxes and I covered them with shelf liner, and that's what you're seeing there on the lower left. And here I'm just going through, I'm cleaning out all the bins. I was able to clean out and donate a huge amount of craft supplies. There are still open top bins with crap sticking out. That's just always going to be the case in my craft room, because that's just how I work, and I'm someone who just always likes to have any craft supplies on hand that I might need or my kids might need for a school project, and so there's just always stuff here. This process did take me a couple of days to just go through every little thing, but I had some company at times and some helpers. I absolutely love having this pegboard and having my glue guns on the board. I used all kinds of different pegboard hardware for that, and I absolutely love it. And here is the finished product for now. It's always changing and turning. I have my glue guns, my heat tools, all the stuff I use most is ready to go. You can see that's where I usually sit to film. We've got these IKEA little hanging bins that keep all of the pens and pencils and markers and things. I do still plan to go through and label all of the new bins or the bins that I have changed things in. And that's where I sit to work every day. And that weird black spidery looking thing is this cool computer desk thing that turns into all different ways. That's kind of my work area center. As you can see, I'm utilizing like every little inch of space that I can in this room. I did also sew new curtains for the project. All right, so that's the new space. I mean, it's old, but it's new, it's reorganized. It's still the same shelves behind me. Same shelves, different bins, but we have added a bunch of stuff, as you can see, and I spend most of my time here now because I teach from home right now, so I literally spend all day, every day in this room, and I just love it. And I hope that every one of you has at least some little corner of your home and your space that you can call your own and that you feel happy in, like I feel in this room. So thank you all so much for coming with me on this adventure. I really hope you'll come with me over to Chronically Home and DIY and that we'll see each other there as well. Keep coming back. Take care of you. Bye.